Y'all, let me be real with you for a second. My craft room needs some help. Okay, I have been putting this off for so long. It's not something that I've wanted to do, but today is the day, at least to start cleaning up my craft room. So I'm going to turn you around in a second and I'm going to show you the state of my craft room right now without cleaning it, without doing anything to it. And I want to discuss some of the things that I'm hoping to do today with you guys as a little bit of an accountability buddy. That's really what I need. So please come through for me. Watch this video, cheer me on, clean something yourself. Like, let's get something done. I've been putting this off for far too long. And there's so many things in here that just need some serious, like, sprucing up, some serious help. I'm sick of having to wade through so much to just get going on my crafting. And that's something that I really think a lot of us struggle with, and something that I wanted to touch on is all of the stuff and just having so much stuff that you can't do the actual crafting, which is what we're all here to do, right? So today I want to get rid of some stuff. I want to donate some things. I want to just throw some stuff away. And I also want to make room for things that I actually want to use so that hopefully I will be able to have a better functioning craft room, and it will be a more pleasant place for me to come and a more pleasant place for me to create. So come with me, friends. You know the drill. It's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Let's clean my craft room. Okay, so first things first, I wanted to give you a little look into my craft room, like just as is right now, and some of the kind of problem areas and things that I'm hoping to clean up today. Now, this is probably going to be at least a 2-part craft room cleanup video. So we're just going to get done what we can in this first one, and I'll let you know what I'm hoping to check off of the to-do list today or in this video. Okay, so first of all, my craft room's quite small, so I'm in my hallway right now, and this is kind of what we're looking at. So first, let's go over here to the desk. So I always have my boom stand and my 2 studio lights in here, so they unfortunately take up a lot of room and they're kind of unsightly, but that's just what I have to use to make videos. But you can see my desk, I honestly try to keep it fairly cleaned up, and recently I just popped all of these things here. So for the most part, the desk stays pretty clean. So I do have my Hobonichi over there. I have my Project Life album. I have a little bit of mail that I've gotten. Some of this I literally got in the mail like today. This guy is what we're hoping to use for some donations. And then I have a project that I'm working on over there on the side. So we'll go over that, hopefully find some better solutions today at some point. Over here on this side, usually stays pretty clean or, you know, straightened up. You'll see I do have a few albums on top of other albums because I'm running out of space over here. And that's another thing. I have tons of cubes that I want to utilize. So yes, I don't really have extra space over here, but these two, there's Penny, 2 bins. We'll call them bins. These 2 bins here need to be cleaned out very badly because they're just taking up space for no reason. And I don't know if I want to keep my albums over here, if I want to move them to the other side, but we will see. Then I'm going to turn you, and I do have my door open, so you're not going to see everything right now, but let me just get over here to this atrocious mess that's on the ground. So this is basically my dumping ground area. So as you can see, there's stuff all over the floor. So my printer is prime real estate for just getting piles and piles packed on top of the printer. Then also in that nice little corner over here, there's tons of stuff. So there's things for projects. There's things for Happy Meal that I've been meaning to get out. There's an Easter basket that I want to make, and there's just all kinds of stuff. So we might actually go through some of those bags and complete some of those little mini projects that I want to do in this video, just to like get rid of those things and put everything away. But definitely number 1 on my list today is to get all of these things into their proper place and don't have any extra stuff out here in the craft room. Secondly, this is something that I'm really bad about. This guy. See this cubby? how it's just piled high with just a bunch of crap. That is number one thing that I tend to do is whenever I'm working on a project and I haven't finished it yet, I don't have a place to put it, so I will just chunk it in any free cube and it will just be a big mess. So there's more over here on the side that my door's closing, so we'll go over that as well in a little while. But I did find something that I think could be a decent solution to this problem here. So I'm going to talk about that later. And then also just in general, I think that my main goal for today, after I clean all this junk, is all of these fabric bins at the bottom, right? I would like to go through each one of those fabric bins. And if y'all were a part of my Patreon, you will know that that was kind of like a big deal. I'm going to turn you around for a second. Anyway, if you were a part of my Patreon, then you will know that that was kind of like a big deal for me, was going through these fabric bins. And it's honestly just out of pure laziness. It's hard to go through those bins because I know that I'm going to run into so many things that I don't know what to do with. I don't know where to put it. Blah, blah, blah. And I've gone through some of those bins before in some organizing videos on Patreon and whatnot. But today I want to truly get rid of some of that stuff. So I'm either going to put it away for donation, and I think I might have found a place that I can donate things to, or I'm going to get rid of it because I can't just keep holding on to it. It's taking up so much prime real estate in here and I need it to go. So I'm going to go through all those bins today and hopefully empty a lot of them, because then I'm hoping that some of the things that are in the cubes can go in those bins, and then I'll free up a little bit more space in here. So cross your fingers and put out all your good juju for me, because today is the day we are going to get something done. Okay, I'm determined that I'm going to work and I'm going to get this room in a little bit better shape today. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm just going to put you on a fast forward speed and I don't know, we'll chat, we'll listen to music, we'll do all kinds of things. But if you have anything that you want to go through, today's the day. Grab a pack of paper, grab one of your storage bins, go through a cube, just do something and let's organize something. Let's get rid of something. Let's work on those craft rooms together. Okay, now that I've gotten some of my room cleaned up, picked up a little bit, I wanted to go ahead and put together these two Happy Mail gifts that I have been holding on to for months now for two of my friends, Amy and Justin from the Cool Kids Club podcast. I wanted to get them a little something, and I've been kind of collecting things over time, so I finally was able to put them together. So I just thought, why not? I'll throw it in the video. So here I have a cute Lizzie McGuire mug to go with the theme of the Lizzie McGuire episode that I was on of their podcast here recently. So I have some bubble wrap and I'm going to super wrap that up here. But also I found some tie-dye tissue paper at Target, which I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect for Lizzie McGuire. It just had that vibe to me. And then I love to add Easter grass, and now is the time to grab it at, any of your favorite places, because it's perfect to add into fun Happy Meal packages, I think. So I grabbed some white and just some of the like iridescent Easter grass. I'm going to tape up this mug and then I'm going to wrap it again in a little bit more of the tissue paper just so it looks a little bit cuter. Then I also got her two Lizzie McGuire books. There is a theme here. And then for the last fun item, I got this McDonald Land Grimace pencil set, because she actually has the other two that go along with this pencil set. So I thought that this would be a fun thing to add. I also have the Silver Star tissue paper, so I use that throughout as well. Add a little bit more of that Easter grass. You know how that is. And then just for fun, I also have these two McDonald Land letter, like little stationery sets that I'm going to add into each one of their packages. And then I just cut down some of my scratch and sniff stickers. So I have a bunch of these stickers from Everything Smells, one of my favorite sticker shops. So cute. You should totally check them out if you're into like nostalgic scratch and sniff. They're awesome. So I thought that it would be fun to add a few of these in because to me, scratch and sniff just screams childhood, screams the 90s, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm cutting down some of the smells that I had handy and just kind of as a little bit of filler into the package. Then once I get done with that, I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper over the top. And I do have a card for each of them as well. So I will fill out that card and pop those into the to the boxes as well before I send them off. But this one is basically done. So I'm going to set it to the side and then I'm going to work on Justin's. So actually I'm missing one thing for Justin's package. It hadn't made it here yet, so I'm going to pop it in before I mail it out. But again, I'm just doing the same thing. So for his, I have first of all, this super awesome, I think Curly, right, from Goosebumps little pillow there that just is super cool. But then also I found tissue paper that is like a green checkerboard, which I thought was fun. So I forgot that I didn't add the Easter grass. So I had to pull everything up. I'm going to add the Easter grass to it. And then I'm going to pop down their Goof Lumps. So they are a like spoof parody book of Goosebumps. And they also came out in the 90s. So I grabbed a couple of these. I popped those on with the McDonald Land little stationery kits. Then I'm going to add in some of the stickers just like I did in the previous one. And then again, I'll pop up a little bit of the tissue paper over the top. But I do have one other thing that I will add into this package and then they will both be completed. So it feels really good. I've been collecting things for both of their birthdays, for all kinds of stuff. Their birthdays have been over with for months now, but it's just one of those things that have been sitting in my craft room forever. So it feels super, super amazing to have it completed. So I'm happy that you could join me and have a little bit of a fun time creating these Happy Meal pieces here. And it feels good to have yet another thing done for my to-do list. So thank you for coming along and helping me out. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good. We have only just begun, but I did clear off all the stuff that was around me. And I do have a few things on the desk, a couple things down here on the floor that I'm going to place on the desk, but at least all those boxes are gone. So we do have a little bit more room to groove. Also, you've now seen that I packaged up my goodies for my friends that have been sitting in here for literally months. So that feels really good too. I'll be able to finish those up in the next couple days and get those out. So what I want to do right now is I want to go through all of these fabric bins that I keep on the bottom half of my shelves. And this is the tricky part. Now we're crooked. I don't know. Am I crooked? There we go. That might be a little better. Okay. So these fabric bins are your typical junk drawer. So I'm able to throw anything that I want in these bins. And a lot of it I know that I don't want, but it's those things where I'm like, well, someone might want them. I don't want to just throw that stuff away. What do I do with it? So I just throw them in the bin. So today's the day where I don't want to keep any of it. These are like, you know, the back of your closet where you're like, maybe I'll hang on to that outfit and I'll wear it sometime. And then another year goes by and then another year goes by and you never wear it. That's how these bins are for me. So it's like, it's time to just let them go. And I'm the type of person where I just feel like freed by freeing up this space. So I know I'm going to feel so much better once I have like a more organized space. So I'm really excited. So what I did purchase was from Target, this zipper storage bag. So my plan is all my donation stuff, I am going to put in this zipper storage bag and then hopefully be able to load in the car. And I think that there's a place in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken, that I can hopefully take this stuff at like a crafty donation kind of place, you know, one of those. So I'm hoping. Otherwise, I'm going to try to find somewhere else that I can donate this because it's all good stuff. I don't want to just throw it out, but I am no longer, it's not serving me, you know? It's not bringing joy. So I'm going to open this bag. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's get that done. Okay. It's a big boy. It's hefty. So I'm hoping that I can fill it up. I know I have some albums. I have just a bunch of crap. So let's just start. If I find anything interesting, I'll stop and I'll show you or I'll explain anything. But right now, let's just go through these bins and try to get rid of as much as we can. Okay, I'm coming back at you with my second empty bin. Proof it's empty. I am going to go grab a trash bag because I forgot, I need a trash bag. But I have only kept very, very few things out of those last two bins. So I have like a regular donate pile going on too, like things that aren't necessarily crafty related that just happen to be in the bins. And then I will show you my big bag once we're all done, everything that I'm going to donate. But right now, this is all I'm saving. Okay, I'm going to move that bin out of the way. This is all I'm saving. So I have these two little envelopes that have some of the really old A Beautiful Mess cards in them. So I am going to keep these just in case I ever want to use them. I'm also keeping, I bought on Amazon a while back a couple of these Project Life Becky Higgins like little dividers, and I've used these in a few of my 12 by 12 albums. And I was actually thinking about using these in my friend Casey's album, and I didn't realize that I had a couple more packs. So I'm excited to have found these. So I'm definitely keeping these. Then I found just a pack of tissue paper, which I will use with my packing and Happy Meal stuff. I found some Disney postcards that I'm sure I bought many, many years ago. So I'm going to put that with my Happy Meal stuff. I found a vintage Snow White pencil case that's just really cute, so I'm going to keep that. Lastly, I have this guy, which I was kind of showing you. It's filled with my old Polly Pockets from my childhood, so of course I will keep those. So I'm not going to put these back in a tub or one of these bins yet. I'm just going to kind of try to keep things organized as best that I can because I want each of the bins to have a purpose at the end. So I'm going to go grab a trash bag and then we are going to continue. Okay, check-in. So this box is the one that I always kind of leave with stuff in it, okay? But it's all stuff that like I may need. So there's like a ton of, like for example, Instax wide film. I have a bunch of these. Plus I have some of the Polaroid black and white and just like different things like that that go along with my Polaroid cameras. I also have some of the Cricut like vinyl that I've never played around with, but I have that in here. Extra bulbs for my like lights, my studio lights. So I'm going to leave this one alone and I'm going to add additional things like that I find. So I do have this Dymo label maker that I bought at one point. I probably like lost mine and then refound it. So I'm going to put this in here like extras, you know, extra things go in here. Eventually it would be nice to maybe have some sort of organization within this bin, but for now I'm happy to know at least what's in it, and I already kind of knew that this was like the only bin that might not get touched much, so that's good. Also, I'll show you at the end, but there's one bin at the very end and it doesn't come in and out very easily because of the way this wall is, so I cleaned it out completely. That's where actually this guy was inside of there, and this was, tell me if y'all ever had one of these. This is pretty old school, I feel, but I had a different type of one way back in the day when I used to scrapbook and go to crops and stuff. They're really handy, but I just don't have any reason to hold on to this. So so I'm going to donate it. And the only thing I keep in that one are things like for my craft room, like trash bags and wipes and paper towels and things that like I use in here. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to put this one back, and then we have one more on this side, and then we're going to move to the other side and finish cleaning them out. Oh my gosh, so that was the one that I was really not looking forward to, but we emptied it. It was filled with paper pads. So I did keep a small stack of loose paper that were from collections that I really loved that potentially I would want to use again. I also have this Good Vibes pad from Crate Paper. And then I have this big Happy Haunts from like Halloween. And then here's a few that are Disney themed here with like some little small papers and some stickers and stuff. So that's what I'm going to keep. But I do have over here behind me, I have all of these like 13 by 13 little holders here. So for now, I'm probably going to keep all of these. Like I'm not going to go through each one of these today, but I'm going to move this stack of paper that I am going to keep. I'm going to move those into some of these envelopes, or I'm going to try to, or at least put them on the shelf with the envelopes so that I know that I need to just purchase some more. So I am going to try to keep these a little bit organized because it is nice to be able to come back to these whenever I need to. So I'm going to try to find a place for the paper that I kept, but we have another empty bin and I donated a lot and that feels really good. Okay, y'all, so this is a bin where I'm going to keep a few things in here as well. And I actually talked about this one before on a Patreon video, I'm pretty sure, and nothing has changed, which that's my problem, right? I don't even think about anything that's in this particular bin. But what it is I bought some different, like, goodies to make projects. Some things I thought maybe I would make with my mom. Some things I thought maybe I would make for a vlog video. So maybe one day I'll finally do that. So in here I have like some really cute fun little yarn things that you can make, and I have these to go with it. I also have a fun Dolly Parton paint by number. I have a resin kit to make like resin coasters. I wanted to start with that. I also have a few wooden things that I was going to paint, maybe this for my mom, and also I have a wooden frame here. So I have a few like little bits and pieces. There's also a leaf, a few bits and pieces that I have that are set up and ready to go if I ever decide to work on that project. So I'm going to keep this as is, and if I find any other things that would go along this line, like of a potential video idea or a potential project that I could work on that doesn't have a home, I'm going to put it in this bin. So again, we've cleaned out all of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our 6th bin that we've cleaned out, and only 2 of them have anything in them. And they're both things that I want to keep. So we're doing really good. We actually only have 2 more to go on this side and then 2 more on the other side, and we will be completely done. So, and then we just have to clean up, and I'll show you where we are today. But I think we're doing really good, guys. I'm very happy. Quick check-in. So this one I'm actually going to leave the way that it is as well. This big boy has page protectors in it, so I'm just going to keep them in here. There's 2 other albums here in the front that are Will's like childhood albums. And then I have an album that I made my mom years and years ago, and a few loose scrapbook layouts that have nowhere to go. There's space over here, so if I find any older albums, they might go in here, like things that I don't want to display but I want to keep in the room. So I'm very happy that they can stay there, because that's exactly what I was trying to do here, is to have space for these types of things as well. So I have one more to go through, and it's actually the one that's kind of smushed over here at the end, so I'll just tell you about it once I'm done with it. we're standing. So I'm happy to be up off the ground. We do have 2 other bins on the other side of the room over there. I'm going to figure out if we're going to go through those right now or not. I have to move a couple things around to get to them. But I wanted to quickly show you where we're at and kind of the 3 piles that we have accomplished from doing all of those bins. So let me show you now. Okay, so ignore my floors. They are dirty. But right here, this is the trash bag. So we did fill up a bag with trash, which feels good. I'm always happy to get trash out of here. Then we have this smaller box here, which this is all like non-crafty related things that I am going to donate. And then get ready, drum roll please, don't get dizzy. But this big boy I'm donating. So it's a lot. It's a really big thing. It's probably going to be super heavy. But for now, I'm just happy that I have a place to put all of that. And it feels really good to be getting rid of so much stuff. Now, I do still... Hello, Poppy. Hello. Now, I do still have a little bit of a mess over here. I brought my other light back in, so I still don't have a lot of room. This mess is stuff that I found that I'm going to keep, but that aren't necessarily crafty related, or there's a few things in there that are crafty related that I need to find a home for. So right now I'm going to work on moving these items out of the way so that I can walk in my craft room. And I'm going to try to find like a home for all of these things that I found so that we can free up a little bit of space. And then we will move on to the next task. Hello, day number 2. So today, what my plan is, I'm back. It's already like the afternoon. I had a few things I had to do this morning, but I am determined to get us to a good stopping place today. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this is going to be like a 2-parter. So I definitely have plans that I'll get into at the end of the video for things that I want to continue to do. This is just kind of like phase 1, but I definitely want to get things a little bit further along before we end our entire progress here. But as you know, yesterday we got all of the bins on this side of the room emptied. And then let me turn the camera around. And right before I started this video, I did go ahead and clean out these 2 bins that were on the side with all of the albums. So the only things that these have in them right now, this one actually has like chapter books and books that I want to donate or give to like a little free library. So I think I'm going to keep them there because I know they're in there and, you know, I won't lose them. This one is going to have albums. It's actually a journal that I had in like 1st grade. And there's another little Citrus Twist small album in there that like the Life Crafted that holds like random Life Crafted layouts. So I'm going to move a few of these like really old albums that don't need to really take up space on these shelves. I'm going to move those in here. Then we'll free up a little bit more room, all that kind of stuff. So my plan for today is going to be to look over here on these cubes and choose a few things that maybe are more unsightly or things that don't necessarily need to be like front and center. And I'll move those into the now freed empty bins, which I'm so excited about. And then we can free up a little bit more cube space, which then in video number 2, we'll have more options to then organize more of my things onto the cube shelves. So hopefully that makes sense. I am now going to start kind of looking around over here on the shelves, figure out what I want to go into the cubes, and then I will let you know like how all the cubes are organized once we're done. I'll give you a little walkthrough of those and we'll wrap this thing up for today. So let's get it done. Okay, so I got that done. I mean, every little bit counts, right? Now, I'm sorry, it was probably difficult to see because I'm kind of at the mercy of my room and where I can film and everything, but I do want to show you, give you a quick tour of how all of the bins ended up working out, what's in them, what I'm thinking about them, and then we'll have a little wrap up, a little chit chat, and finish this baby up. So let's take a look at them. Okay, so for these two bins that I just showed you that I cleaned out off camera, in this one, I still have the books that I'm going to donate along with a few scrapbooks that are ones that I don't really care to show on my shelves. And so eventually when all those books are donated, this will be another one where I can keep like older scrapbooks if I don't need to have them on my shelves. Same with this guy here. This one has a lot of old scrapbooks. So actually all of these are super old. They're either middle school, high school, like times like that, even younger, just really super old albums that I like to have access to at times, but that I definitely don't need to just have out on my shelves all of the time. That I very rarely do I grab them. So that's those. And so let me pan back and I'll show you my shelves. So now you can see that I was able to move some of the albums that were like on top of other ones. I was able to move them down to their own shelf, and we actually have a completely empty cube there. So I will definitely move these around further, probably organize them a little bit better, make everything make more sense. But some of that is going to be in the second video, part 2. So tune back in for that next time. Okay, and let me show you how these over here ended up. Now, I will say this is just a preliminary. I don't know how these are going to go. I might change what's in these bins or hopefully organize them further. But for today, here's what we came up with, okay? So over here, I did stick my mink on this side. It's a little bit of an awkward piece of equipment, but right now that's where it is. Ignore the dust. Cleaning is next on the agenda. So for this one, I have everything that goes like with the mink machine and with the cinch machine, all of my like wires and rings for albums, stuff like that. All those types of tools are in there. The next one are the old albums. So again, these are even older albums, like I mentioned before, some from Will's childhood. Also, there's like albums filled with page protectors, things like that. Just some of like the same kind of idea as we already talked about. So ones that I want to keep close, but I don't really know where to put them. This guy is the one that was filled with the projects that I haven't done yet. Although I did pop all of my yarn on here, and that might have been a bad idea. So I think I'm going to leave that here for now because now I can't access anything well. Probably wasn't that smart. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to leave that here for now. And then in video number 2, when we kind of fully decide where everything goes, maybe I'll have room for that yarn out because it is pretty too. This one, I put all of those paper envelopes, all the envelopes that were filled with the different papers that I'm keeping, they're in here, so I have easy access to them and they don't have to be out and about on my shelves. This one is all of my cute stuff that goes for Happy Mail. So all of my Easter grass, my tissue paper, any little bags, stuff like that is going to go in this one. And then kind of in the same vein, this one is filled with mostly just my big bubble mailers. Things like that can stay in that one. It's a little puffy, but we're going to keep it moving. This one is the one that we went over yesterday that has the extras. So all the extra adhesives, but also have 2 cameras stuck in there right now that I don't know what to do with. So this is where you get that problem of like extra crap, but you know, it is what it is. This last one, I do have some bigger boxes and my bubble wrap, but mainly it's like my wipes for my room, my trash bags, stuff like that. And here's the view of basically all of the cubes. So again, we cleaned out all the bins at the bottom, and then you'll notice I do have a few that are really very open, some that just have like empty containers in them, some that are fully open. There's a couple over here that are now open. This one only has a couple things in it. So there's a lot of potential here. So that's what I want to do next time, is to like fully take a deep dive into all of these cubes and to try to make things have a home, make things more organized, all that kind of stuff. OMG, y'all. Can you tell that I am tired? I am beat. Like these last couple of days of working in here alongside all of my other things that I have to get done in a day was a lot for me. But I am feeling a lot better. So I think that we made great strides the last couple of days to do a lot of the things that I have put off for literal years in here. And sometimes those kind of catch-all junk drawers, I mean, they're so hard to go through because you have the realization that you have too much stuff. You don't know where to put anything, and you don't know what to do with all the stuff you want to keep, the stuff you want to get rid of. It's like, where does it all go? So I feel like I did make a decent amount of progress today, but I do have high hopes to get back in here fairly soon. And I want to clean, and then I also want to further organize. So we're going to really get into all of the cubes and decide where things should go and what makes the most sense. But I just wanted to come over here and kind of wrap this video up. Sorry if the ending was chaotic. It's something that I really just wanted to get done today, and I wanted to complete the vlog. I wanted to complete like where I was at with my cubes. I definitely think that I can kind of think about it a little bit more and maybe further make them make even more sense. So don't be surprised if you come back with video number 2 and I'm moving around some of the things that I put in the bins and I'm putting those back out on the shelves, but we'll make our final decisions and we'll try to really figure out what the best places for everything is in that next video. So definitely tune back in. It shouldn't be too long until I start that one. I really want to get it going because I don't want to lose my momentum. I want to keep working on it while I can, while I'm into it and all of that, because this is definitely been on my to-do list for quite a while, and I want the craft room to just be a nice oasis, happy place for me to go. And it always is, but it is frustrating when you're trying to work and there's all these things that seem to be barriers while you're trying to create. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid and work on as best I can. So I hope that you enjoyed following along, and I hope that it gave you a little inspiration to maybe clean something out of your craft room or somewhere in your house. It's definitely that time of year. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my cherry limeade, go relax with the pups, edit the rest of this video, and get it out to you guys. But thank you so much for following along with me and being my accountability buddy on this crazy journey of my dreaded craft bins. I'm so excited to have that done. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I will be back at you super soon with another video. Bye, y'all.